My name is Abishar Bilo Muhammad. I'm the head teacher of Wajir Special School for the Mental Handicapped, the only school of its kind in Wajir County, where all the learners are coming from all the 6 constituencies of Wajir, whether it's Alas, whether it's Tarbaj, whether it's Wajir South, Wajir North, Wajir East. So you see here, and the biggest, we have a lot of issues. The issues that we have here, are actually a lot, because we have a lot of challenges. The biggest challenge here is, the government has nowadays introduced what to call NEMIS. And NEMIS, this is where all the learners are supposed to be captured in the school portal. But here in our place, things are very difficult, because for you to put this child in the NEMIS, you need a birth certificate. You need an ID card of the parent. You need an ID card of the mother, the telephone number of the mother, telephone number of the father. But in our case, there's totally denial of the parents. You find almost, let me say, 80% of these children here their parents are divorced. And the children are mostly living with the grandmothers, neglected just like that. Because our society believes that when a person gets a disabled child who is mentally challenged, then the father or the mother is cast. One of them is cast. And that's they just separate immediately. Thanks to the only few educated parents who have actually overcome that kind of issue. But now I'm talking of 80%. And we can even go through and you will see. The other issue challenge that we actually have is poor attitude of the community and leaders towards the mental handicap learners. Now, our leaders, starting from any kind, all the leaders, whether they're elected, nominated, and so on, they are just reasoning like the local people, that these children cannot learn anything, their behavior cannot be changed. And I think you and other guys will come here as testimony to that issue. Because even today, Islamic Relief has come, and they are the biggest partner in our programs. Despite having a lot of NGOs in Wajir, like ALDEF, like Save the Children, like Oxfam, and so on, which have been in this area for the last 20 or 30 years, but have never done anything towards special need education, or who have never sensitized the community on that issue. So the biggest challenge is poor attitude of the community towards the mental handicap learners.
Save the Children.
I think Save the Children, I cannot say anything, but there's nothing much. You can see a lot of proposals I've written, but there's nothing much they have done. The same with even UNICEF. Even you see, because of our nomadic lifestyle, we've even written to them and so on. And by the letters that we have written on behalf of the school and in every office. And maybe the only one thing, the only NGO that acted was Islamic Relief, which has actually started, which has trained special school teachers and parents which has sensitized the public and the board of management of schools on capacity building of schools, and built 3 classrooms, constructed for us a tank where we can harvest the rainwater, which has also built 2 toilets for the girls, because by then the girls had no toilets. So, but the other NGOs actually, I don't think, as far as you're concerned, their existence is to us doesn't even matter at all, because the way they reason, they are just reasoning like the local people. That the request about the NGO is that actually they come to this, they have to, because we have been trained in special need education. There are so many schools in the other counties, except in Northeastern, and they're well developed. They can actually see for themselves. Actually, they should come in. Like last time, I think from January to April, there was no fund that was released by the government. And it was 14 weeks. But the other schools, I think we have around, if you see in this forum, the Special School Head Teacher Association, I think we have 256 head teachers here. That means, but all unlike me in this school in Wajir, all the other schools were actually relieved because they were NGOs, they were volunteers, there were people coming for food. But with me here, as actually, except few, we're actually suffering a lot, because what we only depend is the government thing. Also the county director and the sub-county director actually, Mr. Noor, actually struggles with that a lot. The Wajir County Commissioner is also, I'm very thankful to him, because like last time, if it was not the food that he provided, because these children, some of them were never taken during the midterm or the holiday, and had no food for them. So if it was not the county commissioner who intervened, then they could not even have food. And the government has actually not released the money by then. This is the 3rd term. Money was released on the 2nd term. By then we had a lot of debts, and our NIMS portal is not even allowing us. Money is being released on the NIMS portal. The parents are not ready to give us the birth certificate or the ID number. So I urge the local NGOs to conduct workshops and sensitize parents on the need of, and leaders and everybody, on the need for, the importance of educating these learners who are mentally challenged. Other thing I could also, my next appeal is to the this program of the social service. That is money that is given through the children office, the chiefs, and the social office. That actually, if you go around, you will see their parents. Some of the parents are actually very ignorant. They are, look, if you see at the school right now, you will see their parents who are keeping children here, because those children cannot be kept without their presence, because it's so severe, the condition is so severe, that handling them alone is very difficult, because you expect to teach. The workers, I have only 4. Paying them is very difficult. And even the workers who work in this school are labeled. The mother works here, her child or her parents or her relatives tell her, why are you keeping this kind? Because the children are always epileptic, they will be fainting, others have hyperactive, others have so many conditions. So you see, you'll be told if you keep this kind of kids, then you'll also bring us this kind of kids. So they believe that these children possess some kind of evil spirits, and once they wash them, once they touch them, these things will be, transmitted to them, and they are going to transmit to their family as if it is, a disease. So you see the primitivity This thing can be told. I can talk to a person who has master's degree, and the kind of reasoning, and he's in charge of an NGO, he works for an NGO, or just a friend, and he has masters. This is a very educated person, but the kind of reasoning he's reasoning, it has a very strong rural background. And you see, that is the kind of person who is in charge of an NGO, a kind of a leader that you see that we are expecting things from. So I want people to change themselves, to take training, to conduct workshops, and I could also appeal NGOs not to conduct workshops for the same people, because if you go to today, if 6 NGOs are conducting workshop, you will find there are 60 people, but out of these 60, 50 are the same people who always go to the workshop. What kind of workshop is that? People must always, you must sensitize or put a workshop in different people. But if we are the same people attending the workshop for Save the Children, the workshop for ALDEF, the workshop for this, Oxfam, the workshop, what now? If you are only recycling the same people, you are not, and these are those who are just in the town, you see? So this thing should reach the rural people, it should reach the chiefs, and I could also appeal to the local radios, FMs, our local boys who are who have their own Facebook pages, our own boys who have their own TV channels, to ensure that actually they raise these things to the public through their channels, share them, and to ensure that this thing actually we educate our parents on this thing. Because now, if you see here in this, if you some of these children, the community they came from and their parents actually know the kind of problem they had. So they are the ones who have actually seen the kind of change that has actually occurred. Because when they were there, they have been told they are fools, they have been stoned, they have been done this. But when they came here, they come to a town of their own, where we can handle them very civilly. We give them plain materials, they DSTV, they have a lot of, we give them footballs, play materials. There we have a seesaw there, swing, where they can swing, and they dance. We take them for games, we take them for exposure. Last time the sub-county directors actually helped. So those are some of my appeals. Now we have a certain priority. The priority of this school now is water, because our well has dried despite having a machine, so water is a priority. We appeal to any person to dig for us out of the well. The other issues we have, the fence. Fence is the second priority, because the children are just go anytime they want. Some of them were eaten by animals, some of them got lost, and we spend days looking for them. If you go to the OP of the police, you find me that have actually reported several missing cases, and until they are found. We have no girls and boys dormitory. The boys, we got something, but here the girls, these 43 girls, are actually being brought by their parents at a cost of 300 shillings per day. So sometimes the parents are now getting tired because it's too costly. And you see, sometimes you will have 2 girls. Even sometimes you don't have even 1 girl. Sometimes you'll have 10 girls. So a dormitory for the girls is very necessary, where we can keep those girls. The other one is the lack of transport. You find the parents are actually, we need a vehicle. If we could have a vehicle, we could collect these children during the midterm, during the holiday, and take them to the parents. The other thing is lack of essential medicine and medical consultants. So we need the medicine like these epileptic drugs, like phenobarbital, tegretol, so on, so that Panadol, so that we can actually flagell, and so on. These essential drugs that we can intervene. And lastly, I could just say the kind of thing we have. The kind of disabilities we have actually are mental handicap. We have 172 learners. Epilepsy, we have around 18. Those with autism, we have around 4. We have EBD, emotional behavior disorder, we have 3. We have those with multiple disability. You find a child is physically challenged, he's mentally challenged, and he's hard of hearing, deaf, like the one we have. So we have 11 children who have multiple disability. That means they have more than one disability. The total of all these learners that we have are 198. So on that issue, I could like also to appeal, unlike other schools, I could also appeal to the local people. If you have all the clothes, if you that your children are no longer using, if you have shoes that you are not using, second-hand clothes, if you can buy second-hand clothes. Like last time, there was a lady who came here. I think she came from outside, though she refused to be captured. She had one day, goodies. She brought a lot of goodies, clothes, and she spent with the children, with few friends, and the children actually were entertained that day.